What's up, space gamers and everyone in between? Astro Nesto here with more space game news. Star Citizen has been rolling off a pretty nice high from CitizenCon this year, and they are keeping the momentum going as two ships have made it to the 3.21.1 patch that dropped in ePTU. That's a mouthful. In this video, we will take a quick look at the Argo SRV. And if you like what you see, please consider helping us out with a like and subscribe to the channel. Okay, let's go. Keep in mind, this is a test version. This is an early test build and not indicative of gameplay/content on official live servers. In other words, expect a heck of a lot of jank. Alright, welcome to Area 18, and this is the Argo SRV, which is basically the tow truck of the universe. You can see here it stays true to the Argo style and aesthetic, with that signature Argo orange going on there. You'll notice it's got a familiar cockpit style, which you see on most of the Argo ships like the Raft and the Mole. My first impressions is I really like the way the ship looks right now. It's probably one of the smaller Argo ships. Obviously the Argo MPVs, the Argo Cargos are smaller, but I think compared to the Raft and the Mole, this one's definitely smaller. But I just like the layout of it. I like how you've got the tow tractor beam unit back here in the back, in the middle. And you've got these nice VTOL thrusters, which we'll get into in a little bit. Right now in testing, the towing capabilities seem to be restricted to just ships that have their shield off, so it's definitely for moving around disabled vehicles. However, I believe I saw in the early brochure that it should be able to move cargo as well too, like boxes and crates. So we'll have to see how that goes. So getting in was a little bit tricky for me at first, mainly because I found out that there's an external cargo bay that is accessible out here. Of course, if you can read cargo access, you'll have no trouble here, but my first time I was a little bit confused. And as you can see here, the cargo pod comes out. So this is a really nice feature, I thought, for loading in like your packages here and there. For boxers like me, I might be able to get in some box deliveries here. And it's actually small enough that you can fit inside of it. As you can see, I'm crawling around here. So that was an early mistake I made. I actually climbed in here thinking this is the way inside the ship, which I thought was a little bit humorous. But no, it's just a dedicated cargo bay. I haven't tried to store one of my friends back here while flying around. We'll have to see if that works out. Maybe that'll be an experiment for the next stream. Alright, but let's exit out of the ship and get to where the real entrance is. So moving along here in front of the landing gear, you'll find the entrance to actually get inside the ship. Again, make sure to read your signage. Star Citizen is good about giving us signage, but it's only good if you read it. This kind of reminds me of other Argo ships from the past, like the Mole and the Raft. Basically, you got your elevator entrance on the inside to get in. And we're going to go on in here. Because I was inside the ship earlier, I actually left the living quarters open here, so let's take a quick tour inside. Alright, so in the habitation unit, it looks like we've got a small little area here where you can perhaps cook, maybe make some coffee over here. Got a nice looking bed over here. It's kind of Spartan, but it looks a lot more comfortable than something you'd get inside of a Drake, so I like that. I actually like a lot of the Drake interiors a lot. Over here you've got a nice little area where you and possibly a friend can talk, or maybe you can have, maybe if you have any passengers, you can keep them back here. Because you can, as you'll see, the cockpit is a single seater. What's also nice is, just like the Raft, you get this little window in the back where we can kind of see what's going on with the tow arm there. So if we're towing anything in the back, I think it's going to be kind of nice to be able to see what it is. Moving right along, we've got a shallot system, looks like, on here on the inside. As you guys know, I'm pretty big on. It's been kind of a joke, but hey, in CitizenCon they did say that hygiene is going to play a role. So definitely, get yourself a ship that can handle all your hygiene needs. Does it actually flush? Yep, not yet. Coming soon. A flusher near you. And it has a door so we can keep whatever's going on in there in there. Over here, looks like we've got an armor locker and weapons locker over here. All in all, not a bad hab unit, if you ask me. So moving along again, back in the entryway where you have the elevator access, it basically brings you to a little hallway right before the cockpit where you have all the components that are easily serviceable from here. This will come in handy, I think, for solo pilots out there when it comes time to swap out parts and make repairs. All in all, really great design. Alright, moving along. Last but certainly not least is the cockpit. You can see here we've got the typical Argo chair, dual sticks. It's a pretty small cockpit just for one person. But it works for me. How many people do you need to actually do some towing, right? Let's go ahead and climb in and fire this up. Nice and easy as we take her out of the hangar. I found in my limited testing that this is actually a pretty nice ship to fly. Very responsive. So that's basically what the exterior looks like. As you can see, it's got a lot of thrusters to help it do the towing. And these are VTOL thrusters, so that's going to help with maneuverability on surfaces and landing. Alright, I'm going to pull it to a stop and let's talk about the tow arm for a little bit. To access the tow arm, it's like entering one of the remote turrets on a normal ship. So you want to enter the remote turret to operate the towing arm. And as you can see, it moves around like a normal turret. When this originally debuted, it had an excruciatingly piercing sound to the tractor beam. I'm glad to see that they fixed that right away. Anyway, you can see that you can activate your tractor beam here to basically pull in objects, or most likely ships. I must admit, in PTU testing, I have not had very much luck towing things, but I haven't had any friends also that I could tow their ships with. But I do think it's a pretty cool design. Alright, while we're flying here, let's pretend that I pulled the brochure out of the glove box to take a look at the features of the Argo SRV. Legacy of dependability that Argo is known for. You're going to be in for the long haul. Alright, so on this page you can see here, what I was talking about is that it eventually will have the feature to be able to pull large cargo boxes. And we can see here it is in comparison to, I was going to say it's an Argo cargo, but I don't think it is. Maybe that's one of the new ships that they used. Looks pretty cool. Anyway, we talked about the interior of the Argo SRV and what the accommodations look like on the inside. These are the tractor configurations. As you can see, one of the features with the tow arm is that it can point downwards, outwards, upwards. A lot of flexibility there for max traction. Alright folks, I think that's going to do it for my first look at the Argo SRV. What do you think about it? Did it come out the way that you were expecting? Better or worse? Let me know in the comments below. And if you wouldn't mind, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That'd be very much appreciated for helping a small channel like this grow. Thanks again for watching. Be safe out there, and I'll see you next time.